Hello, and welcome to episode 17 of Forever Everton. We've started a season 3. Based on the people who put comments in the last episode, it's worthwhile going into season 3. And I had thought about it, as you know, wind got took out of my sails by the whole Kimpembe thing, but it's been an interesting start to the season. I actually have only managed, I'll show you the fixtures first, I've only managed the pre-season a couple of games, the Tottenham and the Norwich, and good result against Tottenham, 2-1. And we just drew against Norwich, which is actually kind of disappointing. But what's been interesting is actually in the transfers, and not so much the ones that I've signed. But that's where we're going to go next. Let's have a look at the transfers. As you can see, there's not been a massive number of people brought in, but there's been a lot more that have gone out. Just to give you an idea, actually, let's look at the money. We'll start with the first season. We spent 10.75 million on transfers in the first season, and raised about 18 million. Which obviously got us Tapsoba and Thomas Partey in on loan. Second season, we spent 97 million and raised 92 million with sales, and of course brought in the likes of Anthony Sanderberg, Thomas Partey, obviously after his loan, Panzo, who's actually still out on loan to be fair, Unai Simon, of course, who's been our number one goalkeeper ever since we bought him, realistically. Kimpembe, who we brought in on loan and then lost for half of the season because of the bug, and then Augustin Almenda, of course, as you know about. This season, we spent 110 million, raised 82, but spent 110, only to bring in 4 players. And the top one was this guy, Thiago Almada. Almada, my mistake. I'm going to get that wrong a few times, aren't I? As you can see, he's pretty fancy. The reason for signing this player is I've been playing around with the tactics, and as you know, most of last season we were playing with a defensive midfielder as much as possible. We didn't really have a suitable attacking midfielder centre. I've been playing him as a Trequartista just because I love the Trequartista role with the advance forward as well. They seem to work well together, but yeah. I'm not going to say hit and miss because that's the wrong word, because we've only had 2 games and he was brilliant in the first, not so good in the second. You know, and and plus it's, you know, he's only just here with us, but yeah, he cost me 70 million. So hopefully he's going to deliver. That got me the achievement, obviously, for a record signing or whatever it was. We brought in 2 free transfers. A young lad, Tosin Adara Bayoyo, who is a centre-half. Again, within the under-23s, that we're supposed to do with the, in terms of the club vision. There we go. I knew I'd get the words in the end. Yeah, our club vision is to sign players under 23, and they are delighted because I don't think other than Kimpembe, of course, I haven't really signed anybody older than that. Certainly not since the second season. Anyway, but yes, next lad, Mario Palazic, or Palazic. He's Pazalic. I'm dyslexic at all hell today. So yeah, 26 years old, Croatian. He's actually a backup for the attacking central midfielder role, but he will play perfectly well in central midfield. And he's not done too badly. He's only been a sub. But that's really all he's there for. I just needed decent cover for that role, being as I was going to play it. So he's the main choice with Mario coming in second. This was to strengthen up the back four because apart from anything else, I let Tapsoba go. Maybe wrongly, but I sold him on at the time we were looking to raise a wee bit of money. I was also counting on Mason Holgate, which might not be a thing, I'm French. And of course, last but not least, the man you've all been waiting for, or at least I have, Presnel Kimpembe. We signed him. He's officially an Everton player. There's no work permit issues. There's no, you know what I mean? He's here. So that's it. That's the rest of his career with Everton, certainly as far as the save goes anyway. So yeah, very happy with him at the start. As you can see, he was pretty solid for us, 7.0 average rating over 24 games. You need that. Oh, well, we certainly do anyway. Oops. So yeah, that's the people we brought in. It's not a lot. Now let's have a look at how many players we blinking well got rid of. Pickford to Bournemouth. Everybody knows I had trouble with Pickford and didn't want him to stay. So he's there at Bournemouth now. I wish him all the best. It took us a while to get rid of him. We got rid of Sandro to Leicester for 26 million. I didn't want to get rid of Sandro. I didn't. He scored goals for us. He was, a decent player. I mean, okay, in terms of his scout summary, he's not really good enough to be in our team, but he really was. He was a half decent player, and it looks like he's carrying on for Leicester. So good for him, bad for us, unfortunately, because, well, we got a little bit of striker shortages, which is part of my problem at the moment. Next one was Matty Folds, who went to QPR on a free. Product of our youth team. Wasn't really going anywhere, so that's fine. Off he went. Dominic Calvert-Lewin went to West Brom. This one's a difficult one because I wanted to keep him as backup because he does, or he's capable of scoring goals. You know what I mean? Last season, like I say, he only made 12 appearances, but he managed 4 goals and an average rating of 7.07. So he's a good player to have hanging around, but of course, he wants first team football, and who can blame him? And I can't guarantee it. Well, I couldn't guarantee it at the time we let go of him. May he come back and get more the way things are going, but the rest are just people who've gone from the youth team who haven't quite cut the mustard. One that's interesting, of course, is Morgan Schneiderlin. He was with us from the start, and I didn't really play him that much, to be fair. 18, 19. Yeah, I think he got 14 games. Oh, no, he didn't. 1920 was our first season. My apologies. He had 1 game, bless him. And then he was out on loan for the rest of the time. So he hasn't been a player for us. And he's now officially left, which is good. Ellis Sims, again, another youth player, I think. I already looked at him, didn't I? Yep. Edmund Tatso, but went to Fiorentina. And, good luck to him, I guess. We got 9.5 million for him. I can't remember how much I spent. Oh, God, I made a loss on that. That's not good, is it? Not a lot, not a massive loss, but it's still... Crikey. But anyway, 750,000, call it. Is that right? Or is it $1 million? Anyway, doesn't really matter. My maths is terrible. Yeah, so he's with Fiorentina now, and good for him. But, I'm complaining. He wasn't top-notch, but he was close to top-notch, so maybe he shouldn't have gone. But anyway, doesn't matter. How old was he again? I've lost him. 22, still only a youngster. I mean, he's got a 62 rating, but anyway. Moving on down the list, Pennington, another youth player. Callum Connolly, I think, is another... he's another product of the youth team who's gone. That's fine, not quite making the mustard for us. And then we lost 3 players out on loan to Sheffield Wednesday. Lewis Gibson and Lewis Dobbin and Anthony Gordon, they are all members of our youth team. We've got Dan Turner at Fleetwood on loan. Now we've got, this is the other one, Yerry Mina. As you know, I had issues with him not being particularly reliable for us in the first season, and he basically spent most of his, he spent all last season out on loan, which we got 3 million for, which was nice, and now he's out on loan to Roma, which we're going to get money for, but this is pretty much his last season, I think, and then his contract will be up. He's not good enough to play for us, I would say. Or at least he wasn't, a consistent enough performer. Whatever the excuses were, he wasn't the right man for the job. So he's out on loan to Roma. Jonathan Anderson's at Pescara on loan. Again, another youth player, albeit an Italian one at that, no less. So that's fine. Panzo, we know about, is still at Millwall, and he's having a bit of a dip. That's not ideal. I might have to bring him back soon and bring him into the first team. Nathan Broadhead and Ryan Astley have gone on loan to Hull City. Einar Iverson went to Haugesund. Again, another product of the youth team. Tom Cannon went to Portsmouth on loan. He's actually a very promising central defender. So, yeah, he's got a future with the club if we keep going. And last but not least is Joe Virginia, goalkeeper, who's gone out on loan to GD Chavez, which is great, except I don't think I might have to call one of these fellas back because unfortunately, I think we're a wee bit short on the... Oh no. Oh yes. Oh, we got Nicholas Hansen, who's available as a backup goalkeeper. So yeah, we're struggling in that respect, I'll not lie to you. Actually, now that we're at the squad, one of the things I wanted to show you, which I thought was interesting, if you remember Thomas Partey when we bought him, was, I think, showing us 4 stars potential, maybe even 4.5 stars. As you can see, he's 3 and 3 now, and that's just really showing how much we've improved the quality of the squad. Because, I mean, again, same could have been said for Andre Gomez, because again, I'm sure that he was like 4 stars, certainly 3.5. Sigurdsson, another one. I mean, again, he's knocking it on the head a little bit, getting to 31 now. Interestingly, this is what I was going to talk about, actually, is the amount of interest I've had in my players. I've been fighting people off in pre-season, fighting people off, and fighting to keep my players. John Joe Kenny, he had varying people after him, including Tottenham, and they're still after him. I managed, he's fine with it. I managed to persuade him that he wanted to stay here and not go to Tottenham. Those two were fine. They've obviously understood. Dean, there's nobody wanting him at the moment, but we had 3 people in for him at the start of the season, including Barcelona, whom we managed to convince him to stay instead. And I say that, we convinced him. It was Sigurdsson. Anytime Sigurdsson is an option for us, talking to players to get them to stay and not want to transfer, he has a 100% success rate. But unfortunately, he's not always the same option, because unfortunately, when it came to Richarlison, who I may as well go on about now, it was Coleman we spoke to, and Coleman could not persuade Richarlison to stay, because obviously he wants to go too. He's unhappy now. He's wanted by Dortmund, Schalke 04, Roma and Lazio. He's everybody's target, which is understandable. He is definitely improving from where we started a few years back, well, 2 seasons ago, as it were. But yeah, Almendra, an offer came in for him. Sander Berg, big offers came in for him, including Man City. I actually convinced Sander Berg to stay with Everton instead of going to Man City. And I mean, you can look. You know how much he cost me. He was an absolute bargain at $22.5 million. And he's now worth, 34 million according to that. And you can kind of see the sort of season he had. 33 games, 3 starts, 4 assists, 3 players of the match, 7.43 average rate. And he's our star player, as far as I'm concerned. He is definitely by far our top player, with Kimpembe probably in the second spot. But like I say, City wanted him. And fortunately, Gylfi Sigurdsson managed to persuade him to stay. Almendra, as I say, an offer came in for him, but it was only a one-off and it soon went away and nobody's still after him. But as I say, Richardson was really unhappy, at my blocking the transfers. And I actually had a few of the players come and have a word with me saying, well, hang on a minute, we're not happy about that. But once I'd had a chat with them, they are now happy with my treatment of Richarlison and against him. So that includes Unai Simon, John Joe Kenny, Lucas Dean, Sander Berg, I think even August Almendra here, is against him. As is Keane, as is Thomas Partey, as is Mason Holgate, do you know what I mean? So everybody, fortunately, is on my side about Richarlison, but I think it's affected his performances a little bit. He wasn't bad first game, but he looked unsure, quote unquote, in the last match and just had an absolute trite performance. So it's got to be monitored anyway. Thiago Almada, he is our new signing. You've already seen him. Hoping for big things from him. Though I may have to change the whole Tricotista thing. But anyway, that's fine. Moise Keane, he's still wanted. This time it's only by Tottenham. Tottenham want to apparently rebuild Tottenham using Everton players. But anyway, Juventus wanted him, and I think it was Atletico Madrid. One of the Madrid teams came after him as well. And again, thank you, Gylfi Sigurdsson, whose contract is up at the end of the season. And yes, you'll be getting another one just to speak to the players. Yeah, that's why he's still here. It's the only reason why he's still here. But there are still teams after him. Yeah, I mean, from the start, he's not been bad, has he? Let's face it. If anything, he had a slightly better first season than second. But realistically speaking, I feel like that a lot of these players are being targeted and being very popular at the moment because they are sort of reaching a peak or reaching a level where they would be superb. So Anthony, there was also an offer for. Again, it was a one-off and it went away. I didn't need to ask anybody to, have a chat with him. Thomas Partey, well, he's another one. Oh, look, Tottenham want him. Tottenham want the Thomas Partey as well. Well, there ain't no Partey like Thomas Partey, and he gets to stay as far as I'm concerned. I'd like him to stay out his career. Tom Davies is not part of the conversation, but he is from our youth development, so he's been promoted. And he's actually, he's not a bad little player, to be honest with you. I think he's, given what I think he's capable of, especially compared to how well John Joe Kenny has done, who, incidentally, I was going to buy a right back, and he is still the first choice right back, is John Joe Kenny. So that's great. I'm very happy with that. And like I say, Tom Davies, I think, will play a good role. Other transfer issues, poor old Mason Holgate. I kind of screwed things up for Mason Holgate because I agreed that he would be a bit more of a regular starter last season and then didn't really play him. Naturally he got his, he threw Dolly out the pram about it. And Coleman couldn't persuade him to stay either. And in fairness, I was kind of relying on Mason Holgate to be, first choice alongside Kim Pembe. And as it is, Adara Bayoyo is keeping him out. Big old 6'5" Tosin. So we'll see. I mean, I've got in the way of all of his transfers at the moment. He's not happy about it. His contract's up at the end of next season anyway. It'd be a shame to miss out on some money, but he's not really worth a lot. So we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll sell him later in the season, but realistically, yeah, it's a shame. It's kind of knackered things up. Gomez, somebody wants Gomez. Oh, it's Tottenham. Oops. Somebody wants Alex Iwobi. It's Tottenham. Somebody wants Gylfi Sigurdsson. It's Tottenham. Tottenham want to rebuild using Everton players. It's that simple. Just want to see if anybody else is wanted by Tottenham. But yeah, so that's basically the issues we've had. So John Joe Kenny, first choice right back. People have been after him. Lucas Dean, first choice left back, one of our star players. Somebody's been after him. Sander Berg, City were after. You know what I mean? It's like all of the top team. Now, what it says to me, fingers crossed you'll know, is that this could be our season to actually do some real good. If these players are good enough to be attracting, interest from big teams, maybe this is the side that's going to do well this year. So I'm not going to use the phrase quietly confident or anything like that, but interested and excited might be a better way of saying it. I don't think I already said it, but today's match is Brighton at home to Everton. In goal, it is Simon, a back four of Dean, Kimpembe, Adara Bayoyo and Kenny. Central midfield, Partey and Berg. Left wing, Keane. Right wing, Anthony. Central attacking midfield, Almada. And up front, it's Richarlison. This is kind of one of my issues. Oh, there's Florin Anden. I'm a big fan of him. Or I was in my Oldham save. He actually, he was capable of scoring some good goals. So, anyway. But yeah, we got striker issues. I don't really have. I mean, Anthony was brought in to be a first-choice striker. He plays slightly better out on the right. Plus, he's not very tall for a lone striker. So, getting on the end of heading crosses in is not ideal. This young man, again, not the tallest player in the world. So, there's no point in him being up front. Richarlison, a little bit better. But we'll see anyway. That's kind of our issue at the moment. We don't really have a first choice striker. And of course, buying Almada pretty much took all our budget. Actually, I didn't show you the finances. We'll look at that afterwards. But anyway, on to the game. Part of the reason for going for the Brighton game is I'm really keen for you to see us win. I feel like I've played a lot of games lately, and certainly ones on videos where, especially with the playing for set pieces, where we don't get many results. So I'd really like to see a good result today. So let's give the fans the money's worth. And I'm expecting quality. Alright, kick off. So yeah, Brighton are in the blue and white striped top, the blue shorts, and Everton are in the orange away kit. Just going to pause that and go on to full match. See, we really nearly lost 2 minutes. Looks like Everton are in control. Partey, Berg, Kenny. We're balanced at the moment. I'm going to go positive. Oh, that looked like a sneaky header down to Almada that didn't make it. Brighton are on it. Partey, Berg. Finds Anthony. Anthony finds Kenny on the overlap. Berg finds Kenny. Come on, Kenny, you can do it. He's loving being an attacking fullback. Oh, he's been tackled there. Interestingly enough, I tend to do, overlaps, as it were. Dean with a free kick. And that did not find anyone. So I have, attacking wide people one side with, a supporting fullback, and then, supporting left winger with an attacking fullback. Given how Kenny and Dean both prefer to be on attacking, I wonder if I should be supporting with both wide players and attacking with both fullbacks. Oh, Dean with a lovely cross into the box. Gross on the counter-attack. Kimpembe dispossesses him. I think we're going to go with some low... Let's whip the crosses. Let's go with whipping them crosses. Let's do it that way. Not sure about low crosses when we're playing at a little bit more pace. Anden. Bakuta. Gross looking to get his cross in. Cleared by Adara Bayoyo. I'm going to get used to saying that. It's a wee bit of a mouthful for me. Malumbi for Brighton. Yeah, you know what? We were a bit better when we were balanced. I mean, we're defending all right. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy with that. And everybody's playing okay. But in terms of the ebb and flow... Oh, and fortunately that shot was well and truly wide. Feel like I should maybe go under pressing mode. I've done the same thing as I've done in a couple of saves now, just because it seems to be... Well, it seems to be working out very, very well for the Swindon save. I wouldn't say those that has moved over with the other saves too, but actually having sort of tactics, or three lots of tactics set up that I can switch between, if you know what I mean. One a more defensive park the bus type job, and then two different forms of normal play, I would say. I do like playing for control, holding on to the ball, but I also like, a gegenpress style approach as well. And I do find that you can't play either one all the time, so it helps to sort of judge what's going on and make your choices that way. Look at this, I'm not even talking about that, and we've got this lovely passing work through the box that Richarlison just knackered up. He's the one who passed it away, unfortunately. Kenny with the throw in. I'm wondering if it might actually help, instead of work the ball into the box, let's shoot on sight for a bit. Because we're getting it in there, but we're not doing anything when we do. Amanda Anthony into the middle, cleared by White. Trossard on the counter-attack for Brighton. Kenny dispossesses him. Berg picks up the loose ball. Come on, Simon. Thomas Partey, Berg coming forward. Out to Dean. I'm going to try that in a minute. Oh, he tries to go past his man, but he has forced a throw in. We're not quite 10 minutes yet, but it's a throw in for Dean. I know I'm still on full match. Dean tried to find Keane, could not. Berg to Keane. Oh, keep hold of it, mate. Well, that was just a clearance. I'm just going to try it. I'm just going to go in there. I'm just going to put you two both on attack, and we'll bring Moise Keane back to support. Let's just try that. See how it goes. Oh, long ball forward. Darlow, their keeper, picks it up. It's coming up to 10 minutes. And the long... Oh, dear. Trossard pushed Kenny. Okay, I thought Kenny had maybe bundled into Trossard, but Adara Bayoyo takes it. Partey on the ball. Berger. Oh, Kenny. Trossard was all over that. And Anthony was all over that. Well done, boys. You notice John Joe Kenny's our captain today. Product of the youth team. Done well. I kind of want to sign Florin Anden now from these guys. I might get him cheap. Anyway, ball out to Gross. Gross looking to get his cross in, but Dean dispossesses him. Finds Keane. Partey now on the ball. Working their way forward. Anthony finds Kenny. Where can Kenny go? Well, he's forced it a free kick. McAllister, apparently. Dean with the free kick. Into the middle, and oh my goodness, somebody got on it. And, oh, I see, Keane was offside, was he? That looked like an excellent chance gone begging. Darlow with a goal kick. We're having good possession here. I think I'm going to go on to key highlights. I actually haven't done any shouts. See, let's get creative. Come on. Kenny didn't quite reach that one. Alright, let's go on to key highlights. Which apparently this is one of them. Mac Allister. Laxalt. Coming forward now for Brighton. They're running at us. Gross is out on the wing. Right to you now, Simon. Let's go to press. And I'm going to go positive pressing at that. Keane on the ball for Everton. Anthony. Kenny. Finds Anthony in the box. Anthony has a go. Kenny with another cross. Will he get it in? No. Forced to corner though. No, he hasn't. Sorry, forced to throw in. Which we won't see because apparently it wasn't going anywhere. Yeah, I'd like to see us do better than this. I really would. I feel like we are a better side, but look, apparently we can't get one at all. Take out that pass into space business because apparently young Mr. Keane doesn't like that, and we will get a shoot on sight for this too. Although, again, maybe that was actually a bad idea. Free kick, Dean to take it. I just realised those changes I made to the fullbacks and the wingers will be erased by changing over to these tactics, but that's fine. Show some passion, boys. Come on. Oh, Andon. Oh, lovely work from Kimpembe. That is why he's here. Good work, guys. Come on, Christy. Just get rid of it. You know what? Let's get back to the control and go on cautious again this time. Throw in for Everton. Dean to Almander. Berg in the middle. Kenny. Keane. Oh, he has a go, and Richardson has a go off the rebound. But it's straight at the keeper. Richardson's complacent, apparently. Maybe I can demand more. So he's not complacent. He's not playing well. And of course, this is, I'm sure, all because of the transfer issues. Well, if you're not Trossard, just walk through that. Gross. Dean. Oh my God. Woeful defending. Woeful defending. Yeah, Gross just walked through Dean. And well, I mean, Simon managed to save it, but Trossard got... that's horrible. What the heck? Let's put you on stopper duty. How about that? Well, Dean coming forward, puts a ball for Anthony, and Anthony is dispossessed. Oh, I'd love an equaliser. Dean to take it. Anthony, oh, off the post. Be lovely if somebody could actually put it between the posts. Almada. Not happy. 11 shots, only 3 on target. We've looked good. But look at sodding Richardson. I have a good mind just to make him rot in the reserves. Fraser Hornby. Who are you? Scottish striker. There you go. You're in, mate. I know you're a target man on support. Actually, we could probably... How'd you look as a... Maybe a pressing forward. Maybe a pressing forward's the way. Fraser Hornby. You know what? Let me try something. Target man on support. There's a reason for this. I had a certain amount of success with playing set pieces. Playing my lone striker as a target man on support with 2 inside forwards. So, I'm going to give that a go and see what happens. Is there anybody else? Oh yeah, poor old Adara Bayoyo. Let's bring on Mason Holgate. I wonder if you're going to be as cranky as Richardson is. Start the second half. Let's get creative. Come on, boys. Long ball forward, eh? Well, I'll take anything at this point. Brighton 1, Everton 0. I wonder if we should go attacking. Did I take off the pass into space? I did. Take off to shoot on. So you know what? Let's put that back on. And put the play out defence in. Just because we play out better out defence. 15 shots, 4 on target. Still 1-0 down. 65 minutes. Will you please do something? Here we go. Oh dear, okay. Brighton with the ball over the top. Trossard. Brought down by Kenny. And it's going to be a penalty, isn't it? Yep, it is. I really shouldn't talk about the fact that I wanted to play a game where we would win. Oh, well done, Simon. Okay, maybe I need to take all of that back. Get creative, boys. Come on. I've just changed back over to control. Oh, dear. Throw in for Brighton. At the wrong end of the pitch. Here we go. Almada now. Leading. Or almost leading. Oh, Hornby. Oh, I see he was offside. I actually thought he was offside, but there was part of me that was hopeful. Keane's not having a great game, is he? Let's, you know what? You know what we're going to do? We're going to bring on Gylfi. Go on, mate. Do your thing. Actually, does Almada like to play anywhere else? Not really. I'm also going to try having you as an advanced playmaker on attack. Maybe the whole Trecatista thing just isn't working. I mean, he's played well up to this point, but let's see if that kind of role might be better for the last, 1 minute. That's what I get for not paying attention. We're done. Yep, that's it. 93 minutes. Kenny with a throw-in. Armando Anthony. Party. Oh, it could have been a party bullet to bring it even, but it wasn't. Well, that was utter rubbish. Really disappointed in that. And I'm going to tell you how disappointed I am. I am far from pleased with that rubbish. I mean, it's the thing, nobody played much better than average. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't say that most players played bad, but we could see the goal, we can't score a goal. Not at all happy with that. Yep, Everton made the missed chances all right after that 1-0 defeat at Brighton. We're 10th in the Premier League because we like the mid-table apparently. We've won 1, drawn 1 and lost 1 now, so that's we have the set and we have a goal difference of 0. Don't know what else to do really. Like I say, I want to show you the financial situation. As you know, we spent an F-load of money. We're down to 40 million in the bank. Incidentally, when I was complaining in the last episode about being in debt, the owner did put 52 million in, and then I spent it. But our wage budget is looking very, very healthy. We're actually 600,000 over it, which means there's money for me to shift around and put in the transfer budget. I don't know how much that would give me. If we try to, yeah, I mean, it's getting up there. So there's a chance of me keeping an eye out for a striker, basically. I just don't know which way to go. Do I buy a more experienced, reliable striker who may not be a 30-goal-a-season guy, but, a solid target man up front? Or do I go for a youth wonder kid who possibly has the chance of being, scoring a lot of goals? I just don't know what to say, really. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. Fortunate results. Yeah, it's just, I really, really thought that the first game I'd show you would be a win, especially against 17th place Brighton, but it was not to be. So, I will be back sometime in the next couple of months. We'll see how things unfold from here, but in the meantime, I am definitely on the hunt for a striker, I think, a goal-scoring striker at the very best. I might even consider loaning one. That could be an option. We'll see. Anyway, if you enjoyed that, please do give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next episode.